hospitality and family, which makes youth collaboration very easy. Both give from maritime heritage shared by trade networks, and this opens opportunities for future cooperation. Finally, both are young nations with rich traditions, giving students a chance to mix tradition with innovation. So why I compare between Bangladesh and Indonesia? Because Bangladesh and Indonesia might look very different, but actually they share many traits. Both are Muslim majority yet very multicultural. This promotes interfaith dialogue and inclusive values. Both societies value community hospitality and family, which makes youth collaboration very easy. Both grew from maritime heritage shaped by trade networks. This opens opportunities for future cooperation. Finally, both are young nations with rich traditions, giving students a chance to mix tradition with innovation. So, the relationship between Bengal and Indonesia is older than most people realize. Bengal Buddhist monks traveled through early Indonesian kingdoms such as Srivijaya. Trade connected their region. Bengali merchants bought textiles and crafts, while Indonesian exported species. During colonial era, Bangladesh under British rule and Indonesia under Dutch rule shared a spirit of resistance. At the 1955 Bandung Conference, new Asian nations inspired each other toward independence. For religion and philosophical connections, religion has been one of the strongest connecting forces. Buddhism spread from Bengal to Indonesia, and later both regions embraced Islam shaped by Sufi spirituality. We see similarities in food, clothing, architecture, public festivals, and art. Their shared influences created philosophy of harmony, respect that helps keep both societies peaceful. So, everyday cultural parallels. Daily life in Bangladesh and Indonesia shows many similarities. In terms of food, rice, coconut chili, and spicy-based dishes. On the other hand, the music, bowl, and folk in Bangladesh, and gamelan and dangdut in Indonesia. Social life, strong family culture, community gatherings, and festival traditions. Students can explore this through cook-alongs, music exchange days, and festival interviews. And differences also strengthen learnings. Bangladesh has strong Bengali linguistic identity, Nakshikanta traditions. Indonesia diverse cultural mix, Javanese, Malay, and Balinese with batik as a major cultural symbol. This contrast helps students understand new perspectives and deepen cultural appreciation. So, for the modern bridges, education, arts, and tourism, today Bangladesh and Indonesia remain connected through education, through tourism, and cultural production. Bangladeshi students study technology and arts in Indonesia. Indonesian students study medicine, Islamic studies in Bangladesh. So tourism flows, Bangladeshi visits Bali and other places of Indonesia, where the Indonesians comes through visit in the Cox's Bazar, Select, and other places. Joint films, music, and social media projects strengthen youth diplomacy. So diplomacy is not only for governments, students also play a role. At government level, cooperation includes OIC programs, trade agreements, and cultural MOUs. And students can enjoy embassy events, apply for exchanges, participate in online cultural forums, and attend seminars that promote regional understanding. So, So why this culture matters today in a divided world? Culture becomes a bridge. Bangladesh and Indonesia show how mutual respect and shared traditions can promote peace, deepen friendships, and support regional harmony. These connections build youth confidence and cooperation leadership. So To conclude updates, Bangladesh and Indonesia are partners connected by history, trade, religion, and people. From ancient monks and merchants to modern students and travelers, these bridges are still alive. Our responsibility as a new generation is to maintain the cultural links and promote peace in South and Southeast Asia. So that's all of my contribution. Thank you.
Who's next?
Hello everyone, good morning. So my name is Arti and today my presentation will be India. So my contents will be India's geography, populations, languages, religion, land borders and disputes and economy. So India is the 7th largest country in the world, covering over 3.28 million square kilometers. It lies in the South Asia. It's 91% land and 9% is water, and its coastline stretches more than 7,500 kilometers, along with the Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Indian Ocean. So, India's geography can be divided into 6 major regions. Himalaya region, northern border with towering peaks. They act as natural barriers and are the source of great rivers like the Ganga and Brahmaputra. The further line, the Gangetic plains, fertile lands stretching across Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. West Bengal feeding millions through agriculture. The third desert in Rajasthan with rolling sand dunes and arid climates, the Peninsula Plateau, the Deccan Plateau, rich in minerals with western and eastern Ghats flanking it, and the coastal plains, the Konkan and Malabar coast in the west, and Coromandel coast in the east, vital for trade and fishing. The islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, and the Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea, each with unique ecosystems. India's land borders. So India shares land borders with 6 countries and maritime boundaries with 2 more. Pakistan to the west, China and Nepal to the north, Bhutan to the northeast, and Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. To the south, India opens to the Indian Ocean with Sri Lanka and Maldives as maritime neighbors. So in this table, we can see that Bangladesh is India shares longest borders with Bangladesh and the shortest border with Bhutan, only 699, and the Bangladesh with 4,096 kilometers. Then China, Pakistan, Nepal, and Myanmar. So China has the Himalayan border, disputed areas. They have disputed areas with China's like Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh. Pakistan is in the western border, Punjab Plains, and the third deserts. line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. Nepal, India shares open border with Nepal and Bhutan, allow free movement of people. India's most border disputed area is Akshay Chin with China, Arunachal Pradesh with also China, Kashmir with Pakistan. So the first disputed area is Arunachal Pradesh, South Tibet Plain. So in the northeast lies Arunachal Pradesh, a state India considers an integral part of its territory. However, China disputes this, claiming the region as a part of South Tibet. The disagreement stems from the MC Mohan lines crossed in 1914 during British rule, which India recognizes as the legal boundary. China rejects this line, leading to recurring tensions. So recent tensions happened in November 2025, when Chinese officials detained an Indian citizen from Arunachal Pradesh, sparking a diplomatic probe. Jammu Kashmir, so that's the India-Pakistan situation. So to the north, the region of Jammu Kashmir has been a flashpoint since 1947. India and Pakistan both claim the territory, while China controls parts of Ladakh known as Aksai Chin. The border here is actual control LAC with China. The Sichuan Glacier, the world's highest battlefield, remain contested between India and Pakistan. This region symbolizes one of the longest running territorial disputes in the modern history. Third one is Nepal. It's called Kalapani disputes. So India's border with Nepal is largely open and friendly, but disputes exist in the Kalapani, Likulek, Limhiyadura region at the three junction of India, Nepal and Tibet. Nepal claims this territory based on historical maps, while India maintains it as a part of Uttarakhand. In 1920, Nepal published a new political map, including this area escalating tensions through less violent than other disputes. This issue highlights the complexities of the colonial era boundaries. So the India's population in 2025 is approximately 1.46 billion, making it the most populous country in the world. Population density is 492 people per square kilometers, and fertility rate 1.9 births per woman. So biggest cities in India by population. India's largest cities in 2025 are dominated by Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata, each with population in the 10 of millions. Delhi alone has nearly 35 million residents, making it one of the biggest urban pile in the world. So here we can see that Delhi has 34.7 million, the largest urban population, then Mumbai, 22.1 million. Mumbai is the financial capital of India, and the Kolkata 15.8 million. So Kolkata is basically a historical cultural hub. Then Bengaluru is 14.4 million. So Bengaluru is called tech capital of India, and Chennai is called the major port city, and its population is 12.3 million. And Hyderabad is IT and pharma hub. Ahmedabad is industrial powerhouse, and Surat, fastest growing city, and Pune is the education and IT hub, which population is 4.4 million. So India economy. Indian economy is currently the fastest growing major economy, with GDP growth around 8.2% in 2025, supported by reforms, rising consumption and investment. India's GDP growth is being driven primarily by service sectors, IT, finance, trade, transport, communications, along with strong performance in manufacturing, construction and exports. There are emerging industries like fintech, renewable energy, healthcare and digital commerce. So the economy is powered by three major sectors: services, industries, and agriculture. The service sector contributes around 55% of India's GDP, and this includes like IT and software exports, financial services, trade and transport, communications and tourism. The industrial sector accounts for about 27% of GDP. Key drivers including manufacturing, electronics, automobiles, chemicals, and construction, mining, and agriculture and allied activities contribute roughly 18% of GDP. India continues to be a major product of food grains, horticulture, and fisheries, supporting food security and exports. So, India's leading industries and businesses. Information technology, IT, and digital services. India continues to be the world's IT powerhouse. Companies like TCS, HCL, and Wipro drive global outsourcing, software development, and cloud services. Bangalore and Hyderabad are thriving as tech hub, while IT exports bring in over $250 billion annually. This sector is India's largest foreign exchange earner. Fintech and digital payments. India has the highest fintech adoption rate globally, about 87%. UPI, Unified Payment Interface, we can call it, processes billions of transactions every month. Firms like Paytm, PhonePe, and ReservePay are reshaping consumer finance. This sector is expanding financial inclusion across urban and rural India. Automobiles and engineering. India ranks among the top 5 automobiles producers globally. Companies such as Tata Motors, Mahindra, Maruti, Suzuki, and Bajaj Auto. They dominate. Electric vehicles (EVs) are gaining traction supported by government incentives. The auto industry contributes around 7% of India's GDP. The pharmaceutical and healthcare sectors. India is known as the pharmacy of the world, producing affordable generic medicines and vaccines. Firms like Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, and Cipla lead the charge. India supplies 60% of global vaccine demand, making healthcare a critical export industry. Medical tourism is also booming, attracting patients worldwide. E-commerce and retail. Online shopping penetration continues to rise. Logistics and warehousing industries benefits from this boom. So let's talk about which regions contribute most to India's GDP. So at first we need to understand that Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Rajasthan, these states is Western India. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka is from Southern India. Uttar Pradesh is from Northern India, and West Bengal is from Eastern India. So the Western India is be known as the financial and industrial powerhouse. Maharashtra leads the nation leads it's contributing nearly 14% of India's GDP. Mumbai is the financial capital, is home to banking, insurance, fields, and IT services. Gujarat, where is Gujarat? Which is petrochemical, sports, and manufacturing trade city. So this adds strength with petrochemical, sports, and trades, and Rajasthan contributes through mining, tourism, and agriculture. The Southern India is known as a technology and services hub. Tamil Nadu. Where is Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu is a leader in automobiles, electronics, textiles, and IT services. Karnataka with Bengaluru is India's IT capital, driving software exports and innovation. The Uttar Pradesh is in northern India. So it is India's most populous state, contributes through agriculture, manufacturing, and services. Delhi NCR is a major hub for trade, services, and governance. The West Bengal contributes with agriculture services, trade and manufacturing. Let's talk about the differences between the West and East. So, West India, we already know from the Western India is Maharashtra, Gujarat and Rajasthan. This is the Western India. So, their strength is a strong industrial base, financial services, export-oriented economy, and their challenges is urban-rural inequality, water scarcity in Rajasthan. The East India, so East India is West Bengal and Bihar and Jharkhand. So these regions has a diverse economy, agriculture, trade and services, and their strength is resource-rich, coal, steel, minerals, strong agriculture, and their challenges is lower per capita income, weaker infrastructure, slower industrialization. South versus North. So North India is Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Madhya Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh contributes heavily through agriculture, manufacturing and services. Their strength is large population, diverse industrial base, strong agriculture, and their challenge is lower per capita GDP, same as Eastern version. So uneven development and institutional weakness. They have the same weakness like Eastern India and Northern India. They have the same weakness. And the South India, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. So Tamil Nadu leads in automobiles, electronics and textile and IT, as we said before. And Karnataka, Bangalore is India's IT capital with biotech and aerospace industries. Their strength is higher per capita GDP, strong services sector, innovation, foreign investment. And their challenges is regional disparities, dependence on services and investments. And aerospace and the dependence on services and rising urban force. So the top Indian conglomerates like Korea's Samsung. So the biggest conglomerates in India today are Tata Group, Reliance Industries, and Aditya Birla Group, followed by major players like there is a Mahindra Group, Vedanta, Bajaj Group, Aditya Birla, Tata, and SBI. So Reliance Industry dominates energy, telecom, and retail. Its Jio platform transformed India's digital economy. Tata Group, India's most globalized conglomerates, with companies like TCS, IT services giant, Tata Motors, and Tata Steel. Aditya Birla Group, strong in metals, cement, and financial services with global footprints. Mahindra leaders in engineering and automobiles, and the financial giants is SBI. So anchor India's banking and financial ecosystem. So let's talk about the current economic problems in India. So India's biggest economic problem in 2025 includes high youth unemployment, underemployment, low female workforce participation, and jobless growth. While official unemployment rate seems moderate, 5 to 6%, the reality is more severe due to mismatch between skills and available jobs in rural districts and slow formal jobs creation. Youth unemployment is much higher, with many graduates unable to find suitable jobs. Major issues like jobless growth, GDP is rising 8% in 2025. Low female workforce participation. So India's female labor force participation remains below 25%, one of the lowest globally. Safety concerns and lack of flexible work options limits women's employment. Then skill mismatch, that education often doesn't align with industry needs, shortage in digital, technical and vocational skills while millions of graduates remain unemployed. Regional disparities, it's the bigger issues like southern and western states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat generates more formal jobs in IT, manufacturing and services. Northern and eastern states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand struggles with agriculture, heavy economic and fewer industrial opportunities. And the other problem is in agriculture distress, low productivity dependence and infrastructure gaps, and the rural areas lack transport, power, digital connectivity. So, solution means what kind of steps government take to solve these issues. So they take several steps, and they open several schemes like PMKVY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, trained millions of youths in vocational skills like IT, construction, and healthcare. Placement rates vary, but sectors like IT services, electronics, and healthcare show higher absorption. Impact is effective in bridging skill gaps through rural outreach remains a challenge. Production linked incentives, PLI schemes, boosted manufacturing in electronics, pharma, and renewable energy, helped attract foreign investment and created formal jobs in high-tech industries. The impact is strong. It's strong in urban and industrial hubs, creating skilled employment. Startup India and Digital India. So, Digital India Internet expanded. India has now over 100 unicorns, many in fintech, edtech, and healthtech. So in Digital India Internet expanded accesses, enabling remote work and digital entrepreneurship. And their impact is high in urban centers, empowering youth and women entrepreneurs. Another one is MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi, National Rural Employment. So it is the largest rural employment program, helps reduce rural distress and provides a safety net during agriculture off seasons, and its impact is strong in rural areas but limited to low skill jobs. So in short, MGNREGA and the PMKVY, that the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So this helps the rural and unskilled workforce, while PLI, the production linked incentive schemes, Startup India and Digital India drives urban, skilled, and future-oriented jobs. Together, they form a dual strategy: short-term relief plus long-term structural transformations. Languages. So India doesn't have a national language, but it has 22 official languages recognized in the constitution. Additionally, English is used extensively in administration, higher education, and judiciary. Most spoken languages is Hindi. Like 44% people, native speakers, their language is Hindi. Then Bengali is 8%, dominant in West Bengal, Tripura, and Assam. This region is the Bengal region. Marathi 7% spoken mostly in Maharashtra. Telugu 7% mostly spoken in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, which is the southern part of India. And Tamil also southern part of the India, 6%, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. In these regions, this Tamil language is mostly spoken. The language families in India. So 78% Indians like Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Gujarati, etc. This spoken by 78% of Indians, and then Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. This 20% people spoken in these languages, and these languages comes from Dravidian languages, and the others Sino-Tibetan, Austroasiatic, and the smaller the Bodo, Sautali, Manipuri. This comes from others. Religion. So India in 2025 remains one of the most religiously diverse countries in the world. About 79% of population identify as Hindu, 50% as Muslim, and smaller percentage follow Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, and indigenous faith. So 78.8%, kind of like 79%, so 9% Hindu, dominant faith, deeply tied to cultural traditions. Islam 15.4%, largest minority religion. India has the world's third largest Muslim population. Christianity 2.3%, strong presence in Kerala, Goa, and northeast states. Sikhism 1.7%, predominantly in Punjab, and Buddhism, Maharashtra, Himalayan regions. Jainism 0.4%, concentrated in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So Hinduism dominates, but India constitution guarantees freedom of religion, making it a secular state. And Indonesia, so Islam is the second largest, is the third largest Muslim population after Indonesia and Pakistan. So India's festival like Diwali, Holi, Eid, Christmas, Navratri, Onam, Pongal are celebrated nationally. There are lots of festivals they have in different regions, but I just choose some of them. So Diwali, Holi, the Eid, Christmas, Navratri. These are the religious festival, and Onam, Pongal. This festivals is kind of like Korea's Solal and Chuseok. So, their festivals combine religion, food, dance, and community bondings, often drawing tourists. Thank you for listening.
Well done. Very comprehensive. Wow. Who's next?
Ani? Jesse?
Hello everyone, hello Professor. My name is Arafat Kabir Priyan, and I'm going to talk about the British exploration of South Asia. And mostly people know about South Asia as the poor countries like Bangladesh, India and Pakistan. Not only poor, their political situation is not really stable every time. And so I'm here to discuss what it's saying before, maybe 100 years ago. Okay, so here, let's introduce the South Asia, as I say already, India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. And here's the point, once one of the richest region, and everything changed after British colonization, and the effect is still ongoing. Okay, so before British rule, it was a rich region. How rich the Bengal region was? Okay, the Bengal region used to contribute almost 20 to 22% of world's GDP, and which is not really a simple thing at that time. And the Bengal region used to be rich for their culture, textile, agriculture, and everything. At that time, there was mostly and silk, and also the shipbuilding by the skilled workers was there. And here we can see the British arrival. As per my knowledge, that person in the British uniform is Thomas Roy. He met Jahangir, the king on the Bengal Mughal Empire, and he offered. There was a request from him that he should not take the extra taxes from the British traders. But I would say that's the biggest scam in the history, because his intention was something different. The intention of Thomas Roe was entering the region because he already saw the rich resources in South Asia, and he wanted to build his own country using those resources. For me, I would say if there is negotiation, if there is give and take kind of negotiation, I would support that. I appreciate that. But his intention was just taking from South Asia, and that's what he did. And in the next part, we will see that how he let the South Asian people starving and suffer. Okay, when he entered in the region, he started destroying the local industries. As I mentioned already, the muslin and silk and all kind of industry was crashed because the local workers, the skilled workers, was forced to stop working, and the British government started controlling the industries, controlling the local business and politics. Not only this, they started importing their own weak industrial products in South Asian region, and it was done but intentionally. The purpose was to make the local business weaker. Okay, so here started the Bengal famine under British rule, what they have done to the South Asian. At that time, as I said, they used to be civilized, they used to be educated and rich. But when British interrupt in South Asian region, they forced farmers to grow cash crops instead of food, and that's the reason later the South Asian region had a shortage of food, and they had to starve. Another thing British had done is they stopped the other region of that part of India. They didn't let other part to take food, and they stopped the communication. Also, the food production dropped because field were used for British profit. The field in South Asian region were very fertile, and that's the reason they used for their own products, not for food. And what they did was exporting the foods on their own country for the armies, but when the South Asian people asked for food, they used to sell it on high price. Okay, here is some pictures. I know that's not nice to show, but you can see the health and the condition of those people at that time, the South Asian people, and all these things changed within few months or years. And on the corner picture, I just read about this picture. The man, he was sitting to guard his own family, but he's not really in a situation to guard himself. And also in that picture, the mother is crying for his killed babies for starving, and another part, a kid who is, I think he's died or maybe almost going to die. This picture is compared to the street dog. The situation is same, the both. So wealth extraction. So there's a theory called drain of wealth. It means the British government took the South Asian resources to their own country and tried to build their industry, tried to build their own country instead. And on the other side, the South Asian countries, especially Bangladesh, because as I'm saying the South Asian region, but actually the colonization happened in the part of Bangladesh, and only the Bengal part of Mughal was the richest one, so they made the capital of colonization to Bengal or Bangladesh, the current Bangladesh. So the Bangladesh or the Bengal side become very poor, and people will start suffering. And on the other hand, the British government and all those countries become wealthiest. So that's the drain of wealth theory. Okay, here is the social and cultural impact. Of course, when they interrupt their the region, their culture and their social thing has changed. They introduced the language, the English language, which has good sides, but also some bad effects as well, because they tried to divine role strategy, the political strategy, and also the education got weaker after the interruption. Okay, here is the independent movements, the revolt protest, non-violence, and 1857 revolution. And here is some leaders, Gandhi, Subhash Bose, and many other leaders. Although Gandhi used the peaceful movement and protest, but the other leaders used some different strategies. And here is the British final leave in 1947, and after that we have seen the Indian partition, which we have just watched the video in our previous part of lecture. So that partition had violence, killing millions of people, and that's the impact of existing of the British colonization. So in conclusion, I would like to say something is, in 2025, it's been more than 100 years, but as we can see, the countries, Bangladesh, India, or Pakistan, they are actually suffering for different things like no job, no opportunities, education is weaker, and when they go to the developed countries, there's a popular line we recently heard that go back to your poor country. And why they are poor actually? Because you interrupt on their, you interrupt them. You just interrupt their welfare. So that's the reason they are poor. I'm not asking for any kind of penalty or something. But what you can do is supporting those countries and the people to have to rebuild their country to rebuild their family. That's the reason they are here for. If you didn't interrupt to their country, they would not go there and work in your country. That's the thing actually, and the reason I chose this topic is just to let people know and not forget what happened to the to our region, and that's it. Thank you.
All right. Well done. The last one, Tracy.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
So my name is Tracy, and today I'm going to present about Kashmir. And it's a place known for its beauty, but also it's one of the longest and most complicated conflict in the world. And this presentation is not about borders and politics. It's also about real people who are living between those borders. And my goal is to show that why conflict started and how geography and history and identity affect every day in life in Kashmir. So Kashmir looks like a dream destination for many people. Snow covered with mountain and lakes and valleys, but behind this beauty, people live under heavy militarizations. And there are checkpoints and curfew and constant surveillance. You can see that there is a military zone, and even the internet gets shut down for a month, affecting hospitals, school, and business. So in Kashmir, daily life isn't controlled by the personal plans, but it's also controlled by political tension. So where is Kashmir? So to understand the conflict, we need to understand where is Kashmir is located. And it's sits right between the India. You can see that there is India and Pakistan, there is Kashmir, and also there is China. And there is three powerful countries. And for India, Kashmir is linked to territorial integrity and national pride. But for Pakistan, it's connected to the religion and access to important water sources. And so controlling Kashmir means controlling water and borders and influence in the regions. So this is why this small region is become so important and constituted. So why geography creates conflict? So geography alone created tension, and India wants Kashmir to protect its border and national unity. Pakistan wants it because of the Muslim and majority population and its river. And Pakistan wants both countries actually believe that Kashmir is initial to their identity. Because of that, neither side wants to stay back, and that is what keeps the conflict alive. So, partition in 1947, it was the beginning, and the conflict truly began in 1947 actually, and during the partition of India and Pakistan. And Kashmir originally wanted to stay independent, but when fighting started, the ruler signed an agreement to join India under pressure. And Pakistan didn't accept it, and the first war started from then. And since Kashmir never got the chance to decide their own future, and that's where the roots of the problem lie. And the China involvement. So before I showed you where is the China located to, Kashmir, and when often we think about conflict, it's only about India and Pakistan, but China is also involved. And China control an area called Aksai Chin, and which is historically part of Kashmir, and they built an important military roads there and maintained a strong partnership with Pakistan. So now Kashmir is not just two-country dispute, it's conflict involving 3 nuclear power. So I added some real cases, and a village was divided. You can see that there's a river and there's 2 villages. So Tidwal is the village name, and used to be like one village, and before 1947, and after the border was line was drawn, and the village was split into half, and part of is India and part of Pakistan. And family who once lived there can now only see each other across the river, and they need military permission to meet their family member. And sometimes permission came, sometimes not. So it shows like geography didn't only divide land, but it's also divide family and emotions. So militarization in daily life. So for the people in Kashmir, militarization is a part of everyday life. Soldier on the street, curfew at night, and block roads. These are normal things there. Even the internet was disappeared without warning, and stopping hospital from receiving reports, also student from studying and worker from earning money. So people live with sense of uncertainty, and they cannot plan their future or sometimes even their next day. So there is another cases that I talk about internet shutdown during exam. So in Srinagar in 2020, the internet was shut down for 213 days after the political change. And students needed internet for online classes, but they could not connect. One 19-year student walked 11 kilometers every day just because of Wi-Fi spot near the government office, and he wouldn't fall behind just because he wants to study. And education should be simple, but in Kashmir it's become political casualty. So I also mentioned identity crisis. So India sees Kashmir as a part of circular democracy, but Pakistan sees Kashmir as a part of Muslim homeland vision. But many Kashmiris say that we are Kashmiris first, and we shouldn't be able to decide who we are. So the conflict is not about land or religion, it's deeply about identity and self-determination. So, and there is another cases, real cases. So another painful part of the conflict is the story of the half widows. So many men disappeared during the military crackdowns and never returned. So their wife don't know if they alive or dead, but because there was no proof of death, they cannot remarry or receive any governmental support. They were trapped emotionally and legally and financially. So it's a reminder that the conflict affects women in silence and long-term ways. So youth perspective. Young people in Kashmir were born into this situation like they never see any peace. They grow up seeing soldier, protest, and fear. And many of them face unemployment, and which leads to frustration. And so some express their anger through stone plating protest. It isn't a terrorism, but it's about to ask for dignity and right to live to the normal life. Tourism and trauma. So Kashmir is promoted internationally as like paradise on earth. So and yes, like tourists enjoy skiing there, mountain and lakes, also houseboats. But while visitors enjoy their holidays in Kashmir, locals are living under the curfew and security restriction. So Kashmir became a place with two different identities and realities, that a paradise for outsider and but a pressure zone for residents. So what peace should look like. So real peace must protect both the land and the people. So that includes giving Kashmir a voice and respecting to their identities, and cooperation between India and Pakistan over water, and reducing militarization and improving development, and supporting mental health and trauma healing. So peace will only become possible when Kashmiris are included in decision about Kashmir. So conclusion, to conclude, Kashmir is not about the border issue, but it's about the place where politics and geography have created long-lasting human suffering. And behind every political decision, there are families, women, children, and young people trying to live their life like everyone else. So a real situation will come only when people, not just government, are placed at the center of the conversation. That's all my PPT, and this is my reference. Thank you for listening.
Well done.